each searching for transatlantic convoys. The threat was serious enough that U.S. Navy convoy planners had ordered slow convoy SC-129 and fast convoy HX-237 to take a more southerly route to avoid the wolf packs in the north. SC-129 had left New York on May 2 and 5 days later rendezvoused with McIntyre and his British escort group B-2 at the designated Western Ocean meeting point southeast of Cape Race, Newfoundland. But the group then turned south, away from the U-boats. Although McIntyre and his fellow escort ship commanders doubted that the manoeuvre would work in the long run, they had no choice but to relieve the local escort ships and proceed out into the Atlantic. 5 days later, the convoy's steady speed of 5 knots had taken SC-129 out into a perilous swath of ocean which was called the Greenland Air Gap, because patrol aircraft flying from bases in Canada, Iceland and Northern Ireland could not reach them. For the next week, there would be no air cover. Escort Group B-2 would have to defend the convoy on its own. On the night of May 11 to 12, as McIntyre and his men scanned the ocean for signs of the enemy, the U-boat force was also on the prowl. There were 129 U-boats on patrol at sea, 114 in the North Atlantic. Alerted by German naval intelligence that 2 convoys were taking the southerly route, U-boat headquarters ordered 23 U-boats to find them. Orders transmitted via encrypted wireless Morse code separated the boats into 2 wolf packs, which formed a 550-mile-long line across the estimated path of the convoys. Strung out in a generally north-south direction at 20-mile intervals, the U-boats shifted the line 20 miles south to find the 42 vessels in fast convoy HX-237 or the 22 merchant ships in SC-129. At nightfall on May 11, SC-129 moved in standard convoy formation on a base course of 20 degrees north-northeast, proceeding in 9 parallel columns of 2 to 4 ships each. Each column was separated from the next by 1,000 yards, and each ship maintained 500 yards separation between the vessel in front and the one behind. From the air, the convoy resembled a wide rectangle with the longer sides facing forward. 3 to 5 miles outside the formation, the 2 destroyers, 5 corvettes, and 2 ASW, anti-submarine warfare trawlers, from Escort Group B-2 patrolled the perimeter 21 miles long. Between 5 and 10 miles apart, the escorts cruised back and forth in their stations like sheepdogs guiding a herd. As senior officer of the convoy escort group, Commander McIntyre had placed the Hesperus at the rear of slow convoy 129. That afternoon, the escort ships had detected U-boat radio signals astern of the convoy, and McIntyre suspected that the U-boats were still trailing the formation and would most likely attack from that direction. The fateful radar sighting, a half-hour after midnight, had confirmed his suspicions. It showed a U-boat dead astern of the convoy, close enough that its maximum surface speed of 18 knots could bring it to torpedo range within the next 10 minutes. The U-boat commander in the darkness up ahead did not know it yet, but he was about to encounter a formidable enemy. McIntyre, an escort group leader for the past 27 months, had already presided over the destruction of 4 U-boats, including 3 by this ship. The Hesperus had originally been built for the Brazilian Navy, but the British Admiralty acquired it and 5 sister ships at the start of the war. British shipwrights had reconfigured the 323-foot-long destroyer for convoy escort work. They installed depth-charge racks and K-guns, radar and other anti-submarine sensors, later removing the forwardmost 4.7-inch cannon and replacing it with a forward-firing Hedgehog mortar. The ship was an efficient U-boat killer, and its crew were operating at the top of their deadly game. A warship's weapons and sensors made a great difference in the fight against the U-boats, but so did the abilities of the crew. Catching a surfaced U-boat required the maximum performance by each man on the ship. As McIntyre wrote after the war,